Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is The Love and Odd. Today we are going to review the S.H.Figuarts Deadpool and Wolverine figure. So, I know I'm a bit late to the party, and I know there's some problems and issues. Some people have problems with this figure. Some people like it, some people don't. Me, I like it, but I do have a few issues about the figure. But right off the bat, let's look at the packaging. The packaging itself, it doesn't look bad. Looks pretty good. You do get instructions, so that's pretty nice. Of course, you see a picture of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Got Deadpool and Wolverine. And Deadpool. Looks like it says Deadpool Wolverine, but you see Deadpool and Wolverine. But anyways, then you have a little sticker to show official product from Tomash Nation. My box is a bit damaged here, but I don't really care. Then on the other side, you got Wolverine, which is his name with a little logo. And then on the side, it shows him in a pose, but his outfit looks way more brighter. We're going to talk about that later. We're going to talk about... And then we have more images. Not a lot. It's kind of funny because the package, it's very small. It's a pretty nice package, but compare the Dragon Ball Z Goku package, and look at that. Way more bigger. And my goodness, it's just it's nice to hold in hand. It's such a good package. And Tomash Nations have great package. But of course, I want to talk about real quick, the lettering, the way that they did it. It reminds me of the Pokemon lettering. You know how they have it blue and yellow? I don't go crazy for Pokemon. I don't really give a shit about that. But it looks like the lettering, and I find that very funny. I feel like it should have been more a bit gritty, more some you know. Of course, you got a little image right there on the bottom. And then on top, you have a little window to show some light and Wolverine and the logo right there again. And then on the front, it says, it's a... excuse me, S.H.Figuarts, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Wolverine. S.H.Figuarts is a standard action figure series that uses the art style and technology of Tomash Nation to pursue character expression throughout humanoid action. So, not bad, but let's put that to the side. And let's look at him real quick, and then we'll look at the accessories, because I do have some good things and bad things to say. But right off the bat, his outfit is not as bright on the box, but that's a good thing. This is how his color looked like. This is how the color looked like in the movie. I know Marvel Legends did their own Deadpool Wolverine. I was going to get it, but then I canceled my order for that, for the Wolverine. And my goodness, this is way better. Way more crispier, way more... It's beautiful. It's a beautiful looking figure. You could see some details. I hope y'all guys could see the details, but pretty nice details. With mine, it kind of has some smudge from the paint. I feel like it's like, I don't know. You know, Tomash Nations, the paint sometimes could come off or gets dirty, but whatever. I'll probably try to do some customizations. Recommend me some paints to use for this Wolverine. Please recommend me something, because I would love to do some customizations and make it more dirty. Why? Just to hide that little part. But either way, his details is very nice, and my goodness, it's such a beautiful looking suit. I love the suit, sleeves or without no sleeves. Of course, we're going to talk about that. I do have some problems. And I remember when this costume came out, people were like, oh, it's the Tiger Stripes Wolverine. No, it's not. This is the Tiger Stripes Wolverine. That's the Tiger Stripes Wolverine. This one is based on the X-Men Astonishing outfit. You can look at the Astonishing outfit, look at the Wolverine. It's exactly the Astonishing outfit. So I was so happy that it was the Astonishing outfit. Some people thought it was Tiger Stripes, but I'm like, I had to be that guy that points my finger and says, actually, but it's a very good looking suit. But man, the Astonishing outfit, did not expect that. But there was a lot of outfits I didn't expect in the movie, but pretty cool. Anyways, so very nice details. He's so vibrant. He's not too bright where he hurts your eyes. He's just the perfect right yellow, like in the film, how he looked. Of course, we have the little X-Men logo. Of course, little details, just little, makes it look like it's a real outfit. My goodness, I love the aesthetic with this. It looks very nice. It looks very clean. Well, Don't know about this little part right here again. This looks way cleaner here. And right here looks a bit dirty, but of course that's what you expect with Tamashii Nation. Sometimes with their paints, I wish they could do something about it. But also, it's like, well, Wolverine was getting a bit dirty, and I'm fine with it. That's fine. And let's. Oh, I got more things to say. It's just a beautiful looking figure. I mean, my goodness. The boots are pretty nice. The pads is very nice. Shoulder pads very good. Back is very good. Now, I do have a little problem, but we will talk about that. And it's that. Come on now, really, just. We're gonna talk about that later when we just talk about the figure, the whole thing, because again, it makes it feel very freaking cheap that they have it right there. And yeah, if you stand him and then pose him like this, you won't see it. But I just don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care. It bothers me. But either way, let's talk about the accessories. Now, first, I just want to look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt itself. I hope you guys could see it. The head sculpt itself. It doesn't look bad. I think it's pretty good. Very good details with this figure, with this head sculpt. And the eyes are very well painted. I like how they actually painted the middle part, because with the X-Men 97 figure, that one, he would have yellow and then black right here because they wouldn't finish it. And I noticed some people had that, but for this, very nice, very clean. You do see a bit like mark right here. Hope y'all guys could see that. Ugh. Why am I having so much problem with the camera? Please bear with me now. I apologize. Don't even know what the hell happened. But either way, looks like a very good head sculpt. Like, if it wasn't based on anyone, because I know some people say it looks like him or doesn't look like him, this I'm on 50-50. Some angles, yeah. And it's so funny because you could see his nose, and that really bothers me. I don't love that. I really don't like that. Because what they did with Tamashii Nation, what they did is, you could look at photos, and what they did was they tilt his head down so you wouldn't be able to see his nose pointing out. And if they did, people would complain easily. But when you get the figure in hand, yeah, you're going to notice it. But me just looking straight at it, like the shadow kind of covers it, but you still see a lot of nose right there. So anyways, and then second head sculpt, of course, this is the one I'm going to freaking use. Of course, some people are probably going to use it. This head sculpt is pretty nice. A nice, angry, more furious Wolverine. Of course, that's how we all think of Wolverine. Just an angry man. And my goodness. It's a nice looking head sculpt. You but barely see the nose, which is good. Maybe a little bit, but you barely could see it a lot than this. So that's something. And this is something I don't like sometimes. When figures have open palm hands or some other hands, to me, they should always have gripping hands or fist hands when they come out the box. These feels like something that you will use for like extra accessories. I mean, there are accessories, but these are the ones that came with the character. So I'm just like, I feel like it should have been on the side, and him should have had like fist hands. But okay, Tamashii Nation, you do you, I guess. All right, but let's continue on. Of course, now we're going to talk about his fist hands. I'm just going to look at one. Very well painted, nicely detailed. Not a lot. I mean, there is some texture, of course, on the figure with the hands, but my goodness, it's a very just pretty standard, just fist. It's not a lot to talk about, but pretty good either way. Then we have these kind of gripping, kind of relax him, but looks like they're about to be in a more of a pose, something. So very not that bad. They're pretty well sculpted. I'm never gonna put him with these hands on, of course, because I'm gonna have him with the claws. When I do photos, yes, I will take pictures and have photos like that. So I'll be very excited. And then again, we have two claw hands. Same thing with the open palm hands, but this time it just has claws. And I want to make sure. Hold on. I don't want to mess with it, but it feels like my claws are a bit messed up. Like, these are nice and straight. You could see that, alright? And you look at this, and it looks a bit... I don't know. Maybe it's going crazy. Maybe. But either way, not bad. And then, of course, his fist hands. Very well done. These are also... They feel very good. They don't feel like they're going to fall apart. They don't feel so rubbery. Of course, it's plastic, but it's very hard plastic. And then, of course, with the figure, he comes with open palm hands. Just relax hands. That's it. Just relax, open palm hands. So let's talk about the posability. Posability. I apologize. So right off the bat, I just want to say these shoulder pads could take off sometimes when you move around the figure. So be careful with that. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So you see, it's just a little ball connected. I wish that they had two pieces so it wouldn't fall off easily, but all right. And put that on the side just in case I forget. So let's talk about the head. Let's talk about the head movement, all articulation. So I see what Tamashii Nation is doing is going through the Mafex route. What do I mean by that? With Mafex, if you know or buy Mafex, their figures would have a crooked ball joint. You think it would be broken? No, it's just how it is. And with this one, I noticed they did the same thing. You come over it around, and it would still change articulation. So it's not bad, but just want to let you know. And again, it's usually they would do a straight peg, but never like this. So, it's not a big deal to me. It's just something I noticed. I'm like, huh, okay. So let's continue with the articulation. So let's talk about the articulation. So up, he could look pretty good. Down, not so much. Unless if you move the ball joint, then you could look down a bit better, but still not a lot. And of course, with the neck, see? He would still not be able to look down very well. But down, not bad for the neck. And then up, it feels so stiff. Hold on. You see? Up is pretty well. Down is alright. Like I said, I do have some problems, 5 little problems with this figure, but we're going to talk about that. Then, of course, side to side, like I said, if you move the ball joint around, you'll get better range, but side to side. Then, of course, pick the arms. Goes that far, not bad. Full rotation. Full rotation. Not bad. Also, drop down joints. You have drop down arms, I mean. See? So doesn't get in the way with the shoulder pads, but again, I just wanted to show you guys. And of course, oh, sorry, before I continue, there's also butterfly joints. It's not a lot, but it's a little bit of butterfly joints. You will get a, like, decent enough, but not a lot. Of course, swivel, not bad. Again, that little paint part, sometimes you will see it, but then sometimes you don't see it. I really need to get some paint just to cover that crap up and make him battle damage, but swivel, pretty good. Double jointed. Again, also it looks so weird. Ugh, looks so weird. Sometimes they're good at hiding joints, sometimes they're not. But double jointed, so not bad. Side to side, you could take off the hands and you could just switch it around if you could make it side to side, or move back and forth. But either way, now let's talk about top torso. Side to side is pretty good. I'm gonna have to move his arm so you could see it. Up is pretty okay. Down, not a lot. But and you go down again, it just feels like it's cheap in the figure. You never see this with the Dragon Ball figures. Come on now, what are we doing? Anyways, you could turn it with the ab crunch. I don't want to move it so far because I feel like it has a certain range, and that's where the range is at. But you can move side to side. Now it looks like he's doing some cheerleading moves. Give me an X, give me an M, give me an E, give me an N. What does that spell? X-Man. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're going to do splits. Splits is not that bad. It's pretty well, decent enough. Full swivel for the thighs. Very good. And I don't know if you guys could see it, but there's like a little, I think it's like a little ball joint. I don't know what the hell it is, but it feels like a ball joint. Then kick is not that much, and then kick, not that much, and then backwards, it's really just tiny bit. You can barely see a freaking difference. But either way, that's that. Double jointed. It's good at hiding it right here until you go this part, and then you see that. So double jointed, double jointed. Of course, you could move the feet down, put them up, swivel. You could do full rotation, but sometimes if you do the rotation, you would get the little ball stuck in a certain way, and then you'll have to like hold it tight like this with the ball and then move it fully. So be careful with that, but you could do it. Toe articulation, up, and then a little bit down. Not bad. So he feels like a very good figure. He doesn't feel cheap. He doesn't feel like he's gonna break. Well, at least I hope not. I do not want to jinx that. And like I said, you can put the shoulder pads on, and it's, see, with the drop down, not bad. So pretty good, pretty good. But my complaints, what are the complaints? Number one, no Hugh Jackman head sculpt. If you look closely right here, maybe they couldn't pay for license for his likeness, and that's fine. Okay, that's completely understandable. I'm just not gonna get a customized head from someone for sell it for $50 frickin'. Heck no. So, of course, you could have had a head sculpt right there easily. Second of all, no beer hands. He could have had like a sculpted hand, which is holding a beer with one hand. I wouldn't mind, and they could have easily placed it right there, and then he could look like he's drinking. So I think that would have been a cool detail. Third of all, this freaking thing. I don't like that. I don't like how they did it. It's very, ugh. Fourth of all, the head sculpt. It's not a Balakin head sculpt. If it wasn't based on anyone, if it was just, let's say, hey, let's think of Wolverine and how he would look like in real life. This would be a great looking head sculpt. But again, I'm 50-50 with the head sculpt because his nose pop out. I don't really like that. Not one bit. And then fifth, I know I had a fifth because I did have some problems when I was moving this around last night. My fifth, some of the articulation. Some of the articulations are pretty good, but pretty minimal. Again, like, let's put him in a running pose because, like I said, he could do some decent freaking poses, and he would do very well with the posing. Again, and you see how I'm trying to move his arms. Again, like I said, be careful with this thing because it could pop out, but I don't think. Now look, now he's running. In my point of view, he's doing a certain angle for the run. Hold on, actually, let me fix that again. So yeah, you could get him in a good running pose. Not bad. And then again, that thing just pops up. Ugh. But either way, he feels like a very, very good figure. He doesn't feel cheap. He doesn't feel like he's gonna break off easily. I know some people had their Deadpool's leg coming off sometimes, but then with Tamashii Nation, you could just put that crap back together. And again, he feels very good. And my other little problem, honorable mentions, that little paint smudge. Their paint jobs could be good, but my goodness, I get tired and so worried that you won't have a nice figure, but then a paint just rubs off and messes it up. But either way, what am I going to give this figure? Because he moves pretty well. And you know what? Before I even continue, might as well. Angry Head Sculpt. Again, and the pegs feel so freaking very tight, so okay. And I know they had the Marvel Legends one, but like I said, that one looks so freaking cheap. And I know they have the Mafex one, but that one's gonna be $138, I think. Okay, I'm trying to place it because again, I don't know if you gotta like loosen these up, but ugh. Because it's on, but it doesn't even feel like it's going all the way. If you look, there's like still some opening. But alright, whatever. I'm just gonna put that to the side. I don't care. Trust me, when you guys put him in. Okay, now he wants to just snap on with that. Okay, whatever. He moves pretty well. He moves pretty decent. And like I said, he doesn't feel like a very cheap figure. I could have been easy to skip that whole part, but whatever. Anyways, so he feels very good. I like him. But he's not perfect. He's probably going to be my definitive Hugh Jackman Wolverine, but I don't know if he's going to be my definitive Wolverine figure. I still want to get the brown suit Mafex figure, but either way, he looks pretty good. Aesthetic wise, pretty good. Of course, I do have some problems with it, but what am I going to give this guy a rating? I'm going to give him a 7.7. That's again, if it was like a 6 to a 1, that is bad. If it's a 7 to a 10, that is good. It's still good either way. But yeah, you're probably going to have fun with this figure. You're probably going to like this figure a lot. But my God, pretty good. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this. And I hope y'all guys have a wonderful day, wonderful life, wherever you are in this crazy big world. I hope y'all guys have a wonderful time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys another time. Thank you.